Welcome everybody to the day 146 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season. As you guys can see, we do have quite a bit to talk about today. Actually, we have a lot to talk about today, so without further delay, let the day 146 recap begin. When the All-Star weekend rolled around this year, the biggest headline that broke wasn't a trade or anything else basketball related for that matter. It was that Kyrie Irving believed that the earth was flat.
The fact that it's a social phenomenon that Kyrie thinks the world is flat is hilarious to me.
That brought out a bunch of humorous criticism, people calling Kyrie a conspiracy nuts, stuff like that. But as it turns out, Kyrie Irving isn't the only one that's a figure in the basketball world that believes that the earth is flat. As Shaquille O'Neal went on a podcast yesterday and said this.
What did you make of the Kyrie stuff?
It's true.
What?
The earth is flat.
Shaq, what are you talking about?
The earth is flat.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No,
listen,
it's not.
There's three ways to manipulate the mind. What you read, what you see, and what you hear.
Okay.
Conspiracies.
In school, first thing they teach us is, Columbus discovered America. But when he got there, it was some fair-skinned people with the long hair smoking out of peace pipes. So what does that tell you? Columbus didn't discover America.
He found where some other people already lived.
I drive from coast to coast, and this is flat to me. I'm just saying.
Okay, that's the dumbest thing you've ever said.
I drive from
It's
Florida.
the dumbest thing you've ever said.
I drive from Florida to California all the time, and it's flat to me.
92 podcasts, and that's the dumbest thing you've ever said. That's a high bar to get over.
I do not go up and down in a 360-degree angle and all that stuff about gravity.
Now, whether or not Shaq was serious or trying to be humorous, I can't be sure, but when he said
all that stuff about gravity,
I almost died of laughter. Does this mean Shaq doesn't believe in gravity? He thinks gravity is a myth? And the mindset that both he and Irving share is really simple. Question everything and believe nothing you are told. Which is true, you shouldn't believe everything you are told. Ask questions. But also don't take that saying too extreme. It can be a double-edged sword. For example, if someone comes up to you and asks you whether or not you believe the earth is round or flat, and you answer round and they say why, and you say because that's what everyone told me, that's what everyone thinks, and they say, well, you shouldn't believe everything that you are told and that the earth is flat, then why should you believe them if you're not supposed to believe everything you are told? So ask questions, but also remember to accept facts. Omri Casspi hasn't been having the ideal career for the past couple of seasons. Back when he was with Sacramento, there was talk about him demanding a trade and being upset with ownership, management, coaching, really just everyone because he wasn't getting the minutes he felt he deserved. And eventually he did get his wish when he was traded along with DeMarcus Cousins to the New Orleans Pelicans. Now, he was a bit of an afterthought to most people in that trade. However, he was actually a really solid pickup, and the Pelicans could have used his assistance. But in his first game with New Orleans, he broke his thumb, and then they waived him from the team. As it turns out, though, he will now get another chance to showcase his talent with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Quite a few other teams were interested in Casspi. I think it was like the Clippers, the Grizzlies, and the Celtics. All teams who are going to be in the playoffs, so you would think he would choose those, but I think Casspi is a guy that just wants to be wanted and wants to know what his role is going into the team. And that's what Tom Thibodeau did, as Tom Thibodeau held a meeting apparently with Omri Casspi a couple of days ago and let him know what he was going to be doing, let him know that they want him on the team. And he's a guy that wants to be wanted, so he was like, I want to go there where they really want me. And overall, it's a solid pickup for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He can definitely stretch the floor. He shot 50% last year from beyond the arc, which is great for Minnesota since they could definitely use some more shooters around Towns and Wiggins. On top of that, he gives them more lineup flexibility considering he can play both the 3 or let the Wolves go small and slide him to the 4. Overall, just a solid pickup for Minnesota, and I think this is more of a test period than anything to see if they want to look into further signing him in the offseason. I'm not even going to touch on this too much. If I wanted to, I could probably put this in the title. Heck, I could make a whole video about this, get massive views because this is such a hot topic, but I'm done with this. So Lavar Ball has said some ridiculous things, to put it mildly, over the past few weeks, including that his son is better than Stephen Curry.
He's better than Steph Curry to me.
That Lavar 2.2 points per game airball could be Michael Jordan one-on-one, stuff like that, and he's not done yet. He just came out and said this. To me, Zoe is the best player in the world. Yes, even better than all-stars Russell Westbrook and LeBron James.
What?
Sometimes people say things that are so stupid that it honestly just doesn't deserve a response. What do we have here? So ESPN's Chris Haynes apparently has some connections with the Golden State Warriors and got the inside scoop that the Warriors are furious with the way Kevin Durant was treated in his return to OKC on February 11th. The feeling is that Durant should have been acknowledged or thanked in a news conference setting for his 9 years of excellent service. Durant was emotionally drained after that game, and he too felt that the situation could have been handled better prior to his arrival. Those are things that apparently someone within the Warriors organization told Chris Haynes, and you know, that's a pretty interesting way to look at things. Even Al Horford was booed in his return to Atlanta after he left for the Boston Celtics this year, and I don't think many people are comparing what Al Horford did to what Kevin Durant did, so it's kind of like, what did you honestly expect? Were you living in some fantasy world where everyone would be okay with it, or where all the Oklahoma City fans would be okay and be like, oh yeah, he gave us 9 great years, got us to the finals, got us to the Western Conference Finals, took us to Game 7, and then left for the team that beat us in Game 7, but it's okay. Is that what you were expecting? Because I don't think that was ever going to happen. And even when the Thunder host the Warriors again tonight, even though Kevin Durant will be sidelined due to injury, I do not expect a welcome homecoming at all. And that about wraps up all the news and extras from last night. Now let's jump straight into the games. We all know the Heat have been one of the hottest teams in the NBA for a while now. However, since they traded for Nurkic and he got more acclimated to his surroundings in Portland, so have the Blazers as they continue to make a late run for the 8th seed out west. They got another win last night thanks to a season high 49 points from Damian Lillard, including him tying his career high for threes made in a game with 9. I've been waiting all season long for Dame to have a game like this. Nurkic also had a nice game with 21 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks, while James Johnson led Miami with 24 off the bench. 114-104 was the final score, and Portland is now only 1 game behind Denver for the 8th seed. It's been a rough couple of days for Lakers guard D'Angelo Russell, getting involved in the fight or not getting involved in the fight, however you want to look at it, to getting called out by Draymond Green and then getting fined $15,000 by the league for his involvement in the fight. And well, he responded last night by casually dropping 40 points against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Maybe he was upset, and if he was upset, he needs to be upset more often. For example, maybe he's upset for the fact that he dropped 40 and the Lakers still lost to the Cavs 125-120. And that's because Kyrie Irving wasn't going to be outdone. He dropped 46 points, and then LeBron James added 34 as well for Cleveland. Absolutely crazy game. 3 of the most talented big men in the entire NBA were all on the same court last night as the Minnesota Timberwolves took on the New Orleans Pelicans. Karl Anthony Towns held his own against Cousins and Davis. However, 2 is greater than 1, and the Pelicans get the 123-109 win. Towns scored 33 points for the Wolves. However, Davis had 28 points and 12 rebounds, and Cousins had 15 points and 11 rebounds for the Pelicans. Jordan Crawford also played well off the bench for New Orleans. He had 22 points, and New Orleans has won 4 of his past 5 games. One of Kawhi Leonard's worst games of the season, 3 of 12 shooting for 12 points. Luckily, however, for the Spurs, their opponents were the Sacramento Kings, so losing really wasn't possible. After letting his brother Mark get the best of him on Saturday night, Paul Gasol was the hero off the bench for the Spurs with his 22 points and 9 rebounds, while Aldridge had 18 points and 9 rebounds. Buddy Hield and Willie Cauley-Stein both had 18 for Sacramento, and 118-102 was the final score. Can you believe that with only a handful of games remaining in the season, this was the first time these 2 teams have met so far this season? That's crazy, and the outcome weighed heavily in Toronto's favor, 116-91. Toronto really needed a win like this as all 5 starters scored in double figures, led by DeMar DeRozan and his 22 points. Meanwhile, Paul George had 18 for Indiana. With every game being extremely important from this point forward, if the Pistons want to make the playoffs, they played with a sense of urgency in the 4th quarter as they outscored the Suns 35-20 en route to their 112-95 victory. KCP and Andre Drummond were the leaders for Detroit. KCP had 23 points and was also making plays with 8 assists, and Drummond was on the verge of a 20-20 game with 18 points and 18 rebounds. Rookie Tyler Ulis was impressive out there for Phoenix though with 17 points and 11 assists, even though he did shoot 7 of 24 from the field. I told you guys after that near loss to the Nets how important IT is to this team, and his importance was in full display last night as the Celtics fall to the Sixers 105-99. Very well could be at this point Rookie of the Year Dario Saric continues to ball out for Philly with 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 4 assists, while Al Horford had 27 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists for the Celtics. After taking their worst loss in who knows how long to the Sixers a couple of nights ago, the Mavericks got back into the winning track over the Nets 111-104. Dirk Nowitzki is still Dirk Nowitzki as he has 23 points and 9 rebounds along with his longtime partner in crime, JJ Barea, still proving that he is alive and kicking. He had 20 points off the bench. Brook Lopez had 27 for Brooklyn, and Jeremy Lin sprained his ankle in the first quarter and didn't return. And that about wraps up all the action for the day 146 recap of the 2016-2017 NBA season, and now it's time to get into the player of the day. Yesterday, you guys selected James Harden and his 40 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists as your player of the day. And here are today's nominees. And just a reminder that only players whose team won are eligible to win, so there will be no D'Angelo Russell. You have Damian Lillard and his 49 points and 5 assists, Kyrie Irving and his 46 points and 3 assists, Andre Drummond and his 18 points and 18 rebounds, or LeBron James and his 34 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. As always, you guys can go vote for the player of the day right now. The link will be in the description box down below, but other than that, thank you once again for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, don't forget to leave a like on it and subscribe if you haven't already for more daily NBA videos. And until tomorrow, keep getting the Bucks, Team STC, and I'm out of here. Peace.